Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. Today, we're diving deep into a concept that may resonate with many of you, the idea of being the person with thin kinship bonds, or, as it's sometimes called, a person of sparse familial ties. This notion might initially seem negative, but it holds profound spiritual significance and potential for immense personal growth. What does it mean to have thin kinship bonds? In Buddhism, having thin kinship bonds refers to individuals whose relationships with family and friends are not deeply entrenched. These individuals might feel a sense of detachment or distance from their relatives and loved ones. This detachment, however, is not a sign of failure or lack of love. Rather, it signifies that they are in their final cycle of reincarnation, carrying a significant spiritual purpose. People with thin kinship bonds are believed to possess great merit from past lives. They often come into this world not to forge new familial connections but to refine their spiritual journey. This detachment can be seen as a blessing, allowing them to focus on inner growth and enlightenment without the heavy emotional entanglements that typically bind us. Characteristics of those with thin kinship bonds. Striking appearance. Often, these individuals appear younger than their age, exuding a purity and clarity that is reflected in their physical appearance. Early excellence. From a young age, they exhibit exceptional abilities and talents, standing out from their peers. Natural detachment. They tend to feel like outsiders, observing the world from a distance rather than fully engaging with its mundane aspects. Perfectionism. They hold high standards for themselves and others, constantly striving for an ideal state of being. Spiritual insight. They possess a heightened ability to understand the interconnectedness of all things, often having strong intuitive and spiritual experiences. Life experiences of those with thin kinship bonds. Life for these individuals can be challenging. They often feel a deep sense of loneliness, lacking the emotional support of close familial ties. In their professional lives, they might face exploitation or isolation, requiring them to work harder to gain recognition. Their romantic relationships can also be tumultuous, often marked by multiple setbacks before achieving stability. These hardships are not in vain. They serve a greater purpose in the individual's spiritual journey, helping them repay karmic debts and learn essential lessons about selflessness and transcendence. Spiritual journey and practices. People with thin kinship bonds are believed to be in their final reincarnation, having nearly resolved their past life's karmic debts. They approach life with calm and equanimity, no longer clinging to worldly conflicts, but instead focusing on inner peace and truth-seeking. Reincarnation and karma in Buddhism. Buddhism teaches that all beings undergo a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, continuously reincarnating until they have repaid their karmic debts. Those with thin kinship bonds are thought to have endured significant suffering and separation in past lives. These experiences have taught him to let go and transcend emotional attachments. The positive side of thin kinship bonds. There are significant advantages to having thin kinship bonds. These individuals can pursue their dreams and goals more freely, unencumbered by emotional ties. Their independence and self-reliance often lead to greater opportunities and achievements, bringing profound happiness and satisfaction. Thin kinship bonds and spiritual practice. For those with thin kinship bonds, the lack of deep emotional ties makes them well suited for spiritual practice. Without the constraints of strong familial attachments, they find it easier to detach from worldly desires and focus on their spiritual growth. If you identify as someone with thin kinship bonds, it's essential to treat yourself with kindness and compassion. Embrace your solitude, accept yourself, and work on transforming your thoughts and perspectives. By changing your mindset, you can create a more fulfilling and positive reality. Learn to shift your thoughts and control your mind, transforming your external environment through internal changes. Approach everything with a heart full of gratitude, accepting all experiences as part of your spiritual journey. These experiences, though challenging, can lead to greater success and fulfillment in both your career and personal life. Being a person with thin kinship bonds is not a misfortune but a unique spiritual path. Embrace the solitude, cherish your journey, and you may discover a deeper, more authentic version of yourself. In this solitude, you can find profound wisdom and true mastery over your life. Through this video, I hope to guide you towards self-discovery and spiritual growth, helping you understand that those with thin kinship bonds are on a remarkable journey towards enlightenment and self-realization.